When in continuation to our this online mode of education, today we are going to deliberate upon a topic, or in simply we can say we will try to find out what is environment. Now, on the onset of my lecture, let me be very clear that my focus in this lecture would be on the ways in which human beings components of environment are safeguarded, because slightly I am selfish to the extent that I am only seeing my safety in terms of the components of the environment. If we see or observe the human beings from very early periods of civilization, they were living primarily by hunting and gathering. Now the question arises that how people interacted practically and technically with the resources of their surroundings so that they could get their livelihood, because at that time it was the matter of livelihood. Today, besides livelihood, we want progress, we want economics. We are in a mad race. Similarly, what conditions would have been there as far as the foraging behavior of non-human animals are concerned? And what is the present scenario of this, of our surroundings, which we call as environment, and what will be the future trends as far as the existence of human race is concerned? You know, environment plays a very significant role in human civilization. As I just told you, the trees, for example, plants, creepers, water, rivers, air, and different kinds of animals, they have played a very vital role towards this human civilization. And I may not be wrong to say that without the role of these plants and animals, without the role played by these different kinds of animals, the survival of human being was perhaps impossible, even for a single moment, or say for a day, or for 1 hour or 3 hours, 4 hours, without what? Without nature or natural environment. We, the human beings at that time, they flourished in the lab of this environment. As on today, if we think for a while, human beings without plants and animals, we cannot survive for good number of days. Now our intolerance or carelessness towards this nature and natural elements or natural environment or surroundings, it has brought destruction to the human civilization ultimately. We believe that we are destroying the surroundings, but we are destroying the human civilization. With the passage of time, now new concepts have emerged. One important this concept is environmental awareness, and slightly and slowly it has moved into the public life as a major national and international concern, so that people could be made aware about the role of nature in human life. Basically, the life, human life, it is functioning uninterrupted because of the natural systems, because of the energy and nutrients which is supplied by our surroundings. Therefore, we had to achieve an equilibrium. If people have to live in harmony with the nature, then this nature can provide humans a lot of opportunities for the development of the humans, for the leisure of the humans, as well as for the recreations to the humans. Now, in the common sense, environment can be referred to the surroundings, or I can say that it means the surroundings. What are the surroundings? The surroundings where we, the human beings, live. Environment also means the circumstances, the objects, or the conditions by which one is surrounded. If slightly I will go to the technological terminology of this environment, it means the complex of climatically edaphic and biotic factors that act upon an organism and support their survival. If I include social science point of view in defining this term environment, it means the aggregate of that social and cultural conditions that influence the life of an individual and the community. Thus, basically, what I perceive, what I understand, this environment has different meanings from different perspectives. But ecologically, you can define it complex set of biotic and abiotic factors that act upon an organism or an ecological community and support their survival. Human beings are also included in the part of an organism. Now, this environment is our surroundings. simple terms, environment is our surroundings. This environment is the sum total of all the conditions and influences that affect the development and life of an organism or all the organisms. Or we can define that every organism lives in their own environment. For us, environment consists of air, atmosphere, water, hydrosphere, land, lithosphere. Therefore, our existence on Earth is depend up on the maintenance of symbiotic equilibrium with our environment. Thus, there are several meanings to the term environment. The meaning of this environment, for example, with respect to the man, we can say that constitute his home, the food he takes, or the air he breathes from the immediate surroundings. And it can also be said that with respect to the man, the climatic conditions he lives in. For example, what kind of temperature, how much of rainfall, wind speed, number of shiny days, sunny days, number of cloudy days. These are some of the uh, macro these climatic conditions. Now, environment is an inseparable item and is constituted by the interacting systems of physical and biological elements, and these are interlinked either individually or collectively. The physical elements, they include air, water, land, etc. There are several physical components, but broadly they are air, water, and land. And biological elements are components, they are plants, animals, and microorganisms. These are the broad elements of the biological elements, which we call, and they play a very critical role with respect to the human beings. Therefore, there should be an harmony between physical elements as well as the biological elements. Now, broadly, this environment contains two sets of components now. Now, components or elements. These are the biotic or living. Biotic is also called as living, and abiotic or non-living. The biotic environment contains all the living beings on this planet, broadly classified into plants and animals. The abiotic elements are components. They contain air, water, soil, etc. And these are non-living objects of the world. Now, to some extent, we have reached to a point where we can formulate a presentable definition of this environment now. You see, by all the living and non-living factors affecting an organism and ultimately determining its form and survival is known as environment. Similarly, it can be also defined all the external factors influencing the life and activity of people, plants, and animals. Or we can say all the things, that is, objects and circumstances surrounding us is known as environment. These are some of the basic definitions of the term environment from the ecology point of view. Now, environmental studies, the subject, it is a field of study that systematically studies human interaction with the environment. Now, through the subject, we will see what kind of interactions are happening, of whom, of the humans with what, with the environment, and we will understand functioning of various components of this environment. It also deals with analysis on processes of water, air, land, soil, organisms, or pollution for that matter, or environmental degradation. Thus, this environmental studies, it helps us accept certain standards, safe standards, so that we are safe.